Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Bridge Builders of Diversity. Today we're going to be talking about amputees.
We are.
Yes, with all our men and women coming back from war. We see that a lot today, just like we did back in the 70s after Vietnam.
Right.
So we're seeing a lot more of that. It does happen with young children. Like I have a friend whose daughter was a preemie who needed open heart surgery when she was this little itty bitty thing, and they had to go in through her leg to put a stent, but because she was so small it ended up killing the growth plate, but they had to do it to save her life. So when the growth plates weren't coming back, they eventually had to amputate the bottom half of her leg. So that's how she became an amputee. But our young men and women off to war come back as amputees from explosions. It can be accident, industrial accidents. There's all kinds of causes.
Anyone can have an amputation in
Absolutely.
varying degrees of
Right. Or you can be born without
right.
a limb,
Exactly.
a limb reduction, either missing a foot, toes, fingers,
Right.
or just another difference.
Yeah.
Require prosthetics.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, again, who can be an amputee? Anybody, as we just discussed.
If you have a limb, you can
right.
lose it.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
lose it.
That's why be thankful for all of these.
Yes.
Again, I speak from the nursing perspective, and what people can expect. Post-surgical type of things. The first day is usually the hardest. There's a lot of things going on. You're just trying to process what's just happened to you. There's tubes coming from the wound, perhaps. There'll be bandages. You'll have oxygen placed on. You'll be on monitoring devices, things like that, post-op. There's a lot to process, and you're in pain. You'll have an IV place. They'll have people giving medications for pain, things like that. But you'll have a whole team of people tending to you. From nurses, doctors, orthopedic people, counselors. Yes,
that's important. I think.
PTOT. Physical
right, and that's
therapy,
physical therapy and
rehab,
occupational therapy.
Right. And it takes a while for those things to heal before you can even think about prosthetics.
Right.
And there's a lot that goes on in the healing process. Again, the emotional part of it, the physical part of it. Whatever extremity, you'll have bandages or compression bandages to help shrink down. The end of the leg or the arm or whatever, so that they can put on a prosthetic and make it form to fit, of course.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into that, and I'm trying to be brief here, but it takes weeks to heal. It could take, they may start putting a prosthetic on in 2 weeks to 3 weeks after some of the healing process has taken place, but depending on the issue or where the prosthetic will be placed, it could take 8 weeks or longer.
And another thing that really intrigues me is the phenomenon of the pain that they feel, the phantom pain.
Phantom pain, that's one thing. You can have the phantom syndrome. So the syndrome is just that the patient or the person still feels like the leg or the arm is there. And it's the brain and spinal cord sending messages that you still have that extremity or that part there. And a part of that can be pain. Not everybody experiences that. They may just feel like the leg's there, but the pain is another part of that syndrome.
I wonder if they feel itchy or ticklish too.
I think you can have all of that.
All of those feelings, itchy and ticklish.
Right, and it's usually the older person who has that phantom syndrome.
Right, because they've had that limb for so long that those receptors
neurons,
are still
they're
sending
still
out
saying,
those
hey,
messages,
right.
which is
And a child who's born without a limb, they don't know any other way, and they learn to adapt their life around that. So somebody who's older, who's lived with all their extremities and their physical body, that can be quite an adjustment to go through, and even relearning how to do things like brushing your teeth.
That's a lot of people. Approximately out of every 10,000 infants, approximately 4 are born with a congenital upper limb reduction.
Right. Yeah.
So that means that they're missing a hand or fingers. It's and there's a lot of reasons for it. It can't always be prevented. So if you are a parent of a child with born with upper limb reduction, don't feel guilty. It's just there's so many reasons. When somebody wants to describe fetal development as a ball on a track, and there's hundreds of thousands of things, factors that can knock that ball off the track, and one of the results can be being born without a limb.
And if a child is born without a limb, you want to get them involved in early intervention, physical
Right away,
therapy.
you'll be counseled right away, and a team will get you connected to early intervention, which will provide physical therapy and occupational therapy for you,
Something
your
that
child.
An older adult would have to go through, but it would be done through the hospital and the
Right.
caretakers there. So, but it's quite a process, and it's not an easy road to go through and relearning
No,
everything.
But it is remaining active.
Exactly.
Adaptation.
Yeah.
I think
Right, and some of the difficulties that you'd be, if you're born without a limb, that you would face would be normal development in your motor skills, assistance with daily activities. They're not going to be as independent as quickly, and limitations in movement, sports, or activities. And there's the potential for emotional and social issues because the difference in their physical appearance.
Body image.
And that's something that I in doing this little bit of research, I found there's a lot of agencies out there. The Amputee Coalition has put together a list of children's books to help children understand limb differences and limb loss. We're going to have that link in the comments. There's also, I kind of like this one, but the top 5 fictional limb loss characters. Those aren't for children, but 2 of them are from children's programming. There's, who was it? Daisy Duck. Let me find my list. There's Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon, and her name is Della Duck from DuckTales. Both of them lost a foot and created a prosthetic for themselves, and go on to be very, very active. So portraying that positive image of limb loss and how it doesn't define them.
Right. And just like in How to Train Your Dragon, great movie by the way, where
It is.
I forget the character's name, but he makes
His name is Hiccup.
Hiccup. He makes
He makes his own prosthetic because he's
Yes.
that ingenious.
yes.
So
So it's an interesting movie. And
it is. It's great, and it does depict limb loss in a positive light. So if you have additional questions, we have some resources in the comments.
Yeah, put comments down in the comment section. We will answer them, or if you have any ideas. And we are the Bridge Builders of Diversity. I'm Sherry. I'm a mother with a child with Down syndrome. This is
Kim, I'm a nurse.
And I'm Roberta. I'm a special education teacher, and together we're Bridge Builders of Diversity.
bringing you content about people with all kinds of disabilities.
So if there's anything that you want to learn more about, if you'd like to learn more about limb loss or amputees, please leave a comment. We'll do a little research for you and bring you some additional content on this topic. Also check the comments for links to the resources that we provided. We love you. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And
Push all the
smash
buttons.
that button.
Push all the good buttons.
Notification bell so you get our videos. Help our algorithms.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.